You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Pod Casserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Welcome to the final Pod Casserole of Halloween 2017.
It's a sad time, isn't it?
It's very sad.
It's a big build-up we've had for 2, 3, 4, 5 months now.
It's a very somber moment.
How do you feel hand holding your mic? I'll let the secret out. How do you feel about that?
I'm holding a microphone?
Yeah, you're holding it.
Well, there's a reason why I'm holding it.
Right.
Because I like to hold it.
And
just look at it.
Ooh.
We have a very special guest with us.
Right.
Very special? Is that what you really said? Very special.
Yeah, very special.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Very, very special guest.
Yeah.
We've been promising this for weeks.
Right.
Yeah, the
months,
Super Show.
Seasons.
Yeah, years even. I think it's been years, at least a year, since our last Super Show, right?
That's true.
Right? It's
At
been
least a
while.
year.
Yeah.
So we have invited Josh
Yeah.
from Collection Connection, formerly of Collection Connection.
Hey, now, hey.
The podcast formerly known as
Hold on. I would agree with you that I am on Collection Connection,
Yeah.
or the host of Collection Connection, but it is not done.
Yeah.
It is on hiatus, right?
Yeah, well,
To
it's
be
like a
fair,
TV show.
We all have multiple shows
Right,
on hiatus
right.
right now. We all do.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm in the off season, right?
I mean,
yeah.
I'm Not Famous is coming back strong. I promise.
Yeah. Same here for 8-Bit Adam. Any day now. We're up to 16-Bit Adam now. So next it's season 2.
I mean, I really can't wait for Troll Food podcast. I mean, that's definitely coming back, right?
Yeah.
It's on permanent vacation.
That one's right. Yeah.
Wasn't that an Aerosmith album?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Love and Elevator was
Yeah.
on that
About
one,
that.
right?
Wow.
No, Ragdoll.
Which one's Toys in the Attic? What am I thinking? Toys in the Attic.
That has Sweet Emotion on it.
Right. Yeah.
Did you say Flowers for Algernon?
What?
Flowers
in the Attic?
Ugh.
Yeah, whatever. Sorry.
So yeah, it's Josh. He's here.
Yeah.
He's come to celebrate Halloween with us because if our producer does what he's supposed to, this actually comes out on Halloween.
That's yeah.
Oh, really?
In theory, that
In
happens.
theory,
This will be your
Halloween
Halloween
Day.
episode.
this is
so
the
it's
Halloween
important
Day
to listen to.
episode.
Listen, can I address the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
Like, I really thought
I'm
y'all...
holding a microphone.
Well, that... and I really thought y'all were joking that you don't wear pants when you do
Yeah.
the show.
Told you.
Thought that was a joke.
Told you.
And I totally did not expect y'all to be wearing underoos right now. I'm by that.
Yeah.
So where are we picking
What are we picking up?
Just follow my lead.
All right.
And I have my She-Ra underoos on.
Yes. I mean...
Would you like me to do that again?
yes.
And mine are She-Ra.
But I mean, the thing about it is that the fact that you're wearing She-Ra and he's wearing Hulk. I mean,
Right.
I'm a little weirded out and turned on all at the same time. It's an unusual thing.
It's the combination of the purple and the torn. That's what gets you every time.
I think that's what's got me.
I am having deja vu.
It's the Halloween season.
Weird.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
We have got so much planned for today. We've got a game
Right.
that Adam has invented.
I'm excited.
Did
about
you
that
invent
one.
this game?
I did. I totally 100% invented it. If it is out there, I'm not aware of it.
You promise you didn't rip this
I
off from
promise you.
somebody?
I promise you. If it's out there, I'm totally unaware.
We've
It's
got
so original. I don't have a name for it yet. It's going to happen soon, though.
Brooklyn and I went back to Carnton Plantation. We've got the audio from that. I'm going to tell you, not as
Riveting?
spiritual as it was last time.
Right? Yeah.
More legal than spiritual this year. We've got the radio from last week. We're going to try to contact the Great Beyond via white noise.
Terrifying as always.
That kind of freaks you out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Before we get to any of that, I want to give Josh a second to bring us up to speed on exactly what's going on with his show, Collection Connection, because you take a little break.
Yeah.
And I totally understand why you would take a break, because doing a podcast weekly can be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mainly what we've got going on is we're in the off season currently, and the reason I call it an off season is because what I've found in podcasting is it is a labor of love, and you really have to have a committed party. I would dare say, I mean, unless you're a Mark Maron or one of those people who can truly just sit there and ramble by themselves, it has to be committed on two parts. And that isn't against any of my co-hosts. My co-hosts have been fantastic as far as, working together, and we've had good working relationships. It's just one of those things of getting it all together and everything coming together. And right now I'm currently in the off season, and I want to ramp back up and get everything back hitting on all cylinders so that I can give the content that people want to hear, not just content for the sake of content, because we've all heard those podcasts that have content out there for the sake of content.
I host one of those podcasts.
So dare say it's coming back. We're just currently in a small hiatus off season. Definitely coming back. If you would like to, I even have one that I could put out right now, but I'm kind of waiting until I gear back up. I don't want to just put one out and then all of a sudden go another, month or so and not have it. So, that's where we are currently. You could hear anybody on the show, from any of the people who have been on there before. When we ramp back up, we're going to be in full force.
Be back and better than ever.
You got it.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to it.
Same here.
And if you are listening to this on the Collection Connection feed, go find Pod Casserole.
Yes, please find Pod. What did I say?
Pod
Casserole.
Or Pod Casserole.
That's a good Star Wars character name. I like that. That's Port Jenkins' second hand, right? Port
Diggs Barklighter.
Exactly.
Yep. Gotcha. I'm there.
Go find Pod Casserole and subscribe, rate, and review.
Yes, please.
At the same spot where you probably found this one.
Yeah.
iTunes,
Stitcher.
Apple Podcast, Stitcher.
Does Stitcher still exist?
Zune Marketplace.
Zune.
It's coming back, right? It's coming
MySpace.
back. Yeah. LimeWire, if you're down for the illegally streaming things, LimeWire. Is that still a thing, LimeWire?
I don't know.
I don't
Is
think
that what
so.
you used instead of?
I think
I went
now
Napster and then Metallica happened. Then I went to LimeWire.
the current one is called, from what I understand, called Pirates Bay.
I thought that got closed. It's still there, huh?
Oh wait, maybe it is.
wow.
I have not.
Yeah,
I have
wow.
not done that in a long time.
I thought you could find any song you wanted on YouTube.
You can.
Yeah,
you
but
can.
not that crisp quality.
That's
Yeah.
true, and they may take it down.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
One day I'll go through all the emails that we've received from YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Oh, have you? Do you
Copyright
get emails?
claims.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
because it's just saying we
Beautiful.
can't make money off of it, but
Yeah.
YouTube is not the bread and butter, of course.
That's true.
That's fine.
What is our bread and butter?
I'm trying to figure that out.
That's my goal for 2018.
6 years deep, trying to figure it out.
Find some bread and butter. Okay, so do you want to start with the Carton update?
Oh, Carton
let's
for
do that.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
My sister-in-law, Josh's bride, Adam's friend.
Yeah. Is it still
Brooklyn.
a bride a year after? Is it
Yeah,
still,
she is actually scary in herself. I mean, alone.
It's a very Halloween heavy.
It is.
Yeah.
The Bride of Frankenstein. Brooklyn. So if you were listening even earlier this year, when we recapped it and replayed it, a couple of years ago, Brooklyn and I went to the Carton Plantation. I'll let you boys kind of quickly set the stage of what the Carton Plantation is, because you've been multiple times.
Yeah, I've had actually paranormal experience there myself. Currently, it is. I mean, it's a tourist place now.
Yeah.
Currently, but back when I was in high school, we used to go park up there. Back before it was any kind of a tourist place to go, we'd go out there and park, walk around there at night. And I happened to be there. Long and the short of the story, happened to be there with some friends in a car, and we had a light kick on upstairs, and we left so fast. It was unbelievable. It'd make your head spin because it freaked us out extremely bad. Not only because of the light kicking on, but there was no known electricity in the place at the time.
Wow.
So, I mean, that true paranormal experience, quite possibly my very first paranormal experience.
Wow. I've had no actual cool experiences like that, but I know the history of the place. It's kind of it was a makeshift plantation mansion. Once the actual Civil War battles happened here in the South, in the Middle Tennessee area, they kind of converted that to a hospital. Many people were injured, and many even more died on the floors, the hardwood floors of the mansion itself. So it was kind of like a makeshift hospital, and they even have an actual Confederate. Is it Confederate and Union soldiers at that graveyard, or just Confederacy?
I
there?
think both. I think both.
I don't know the number, but dozens, right? That's,
it's
dozens buried there.
One of the largest graveyards, I guess, in the area for Civil War activity.
These things are 150 plus years old.
And isn't there still blood stains on the wood floors?
Yeah.
That you can even see now.
Yeah, I was in there last. almost 20 years ago, but at the time then, it was totally visible.
And bullet holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Now in 2017, it's one of these historical places that millions of dollars have been sunk into. They've redecorated, set up an event center there. It has electricity now, and it's a well, I don't think it's a national park, but it's certainly a state park, more or less. So Brooke and I go out there a couple of years ago. We don't really see anything. We get creeped out because we're, walking through the graveyard, in between the graves, around the tombstones. It's dark. It's at night. And the minute we did hear some strange things. I heard whistling that we don't seem to know where it came from. We heard what sounded like a Gatling gun off in the distance.
I was going to say, you heard gunshot.
We heard gunshots.
Yeah.
And then as we record, we heard the hounds of hell as we were recording.
Yeah.
Right inside a corpse's shell.
Otherwise known as Tennessee coyotes.
Yeah, it's probably coyotes. Yeah. So we thought it would be fun a couple of years later if we went back and just the two of us, we go out there for a little Carton update. It's a lot busier now than it was even 2 years ago. And there were people driving in and out all over the place. So we start down a walking trail and we realize the amount of traffic that's coming through. We're not really sure if we can legally be there at that time of night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. So we start hiding from the headlights. We're like ducking down.
Like behind tombstones or what?
Well, we weren't in the cemetery yet. We were trying to make our way to the cemetery.
Yeah.
We're parked in the little parking area in front of the mansion itself. Mm-hmm. And this is what, the first report we filed from the Carton plantation.
Okay, so we're here at the Carton plantation, and we are hiding behind a tree to not get caught.
Because we might be trespassing.
We could be trespassing. And there is a truck we're watching parked right in front of the plantation that's carrying a trailer.
We're kind of at a standoff. We can't go anywhere.
Yeah, we can't even go back to our car because the truck is between us and the car. So we're just kind of crouched down behind a tree on a walking trail near the cemetery, trying to figure out what these guys are doing and when they're going to leave. But Brooke, it looks like they're here for a minute.
Yeah, they really do. They're opening, like, the gates and stuff. Do you think we can sneak in?
Actually, into the mansion?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, so that's what we're doing right now. We'll have some updates here in a second.
So we keep recording.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize that it was still recording, so I think you hear some fumbling around.
It was in your pocket?
Putting my phone back in my pocket. And then I'm like, oh, we're still... Here we go.
They're not whistling.
I heard somebody go...
You're making it up. They're not whistling.
No.
They're talking at regular volume because they're not trespassing.
Whereas we're whispering because we are. We don't know they're not trespassing. I mean, they could be here. What business are they going to be here doing? Who is going to be here at 10 o'clock at night?
I don't know. Maybe they're, like, cleaning up or something. I don't know.
That's an awful lot of cleaning utensils and tools and implements.
It was like they came in here confused, too, because they came in and did a loop-de-loop down here and everything.
Yeah, they went to the wrong house and then turned around and then went back up and then backed.
Yep, nope, they're robbing the mansion.
They are robbing the mansion. This is like a Scooby-Doo. This is our Scooby-Doo moment.
That's exactly right.
Zoink, Scoob. So we came out to find Ghost, and we may have stumbled upon like a national treasure level robbery taking place.
Citizens arrest.
More fumbling, putting the phone
yeah.
back in my pocket.
Yeah.
So we are actually on a walking trail, hunkered down behind a tree, whispering. And even when I pulled my phone out to record, and then the light just lit up the entire field, it's like, we gotta get down. We gotta get down. Because
So was your car visible to these other people? Could they see your car?
in the parking lot,
Yeah.
sure, both of our cars were
Right.
parked in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And this truck just pulls up, goes down to this kind of other building where the bathrooms are.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some sort of, is it some sort of museum of some
Man,
sort?
it used to be nothing but the Carton place there, but they actually built almost like a gift shop and everything. I mean, not almost. They built a gift shop. They built a whole walking area, things that were not even close to being there. I mean, they built all that. They wiped out the golf course that was in front of it. So those walking trails y'all were on used to be the golf course.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, but they've since turned it into walking trails and tried to redo it to like to look like it did back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, the story that you had read at one point in time was they looked out and saw the cattle scattering, and it was the soldiers coming through, riddling the house with bullets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because this field that we're in, and we are actually in a huge grassy field, and then, not early in the evening, it was 10:30 at night. There's no lights around where we are.
Nothing.
There's fog across the grass. There's a chill in the air because it's autumn here, or fall. And that was a little creepy. So we were starting to get a little creeped out just walking these trails
Sure.
at that time of night. And then that's when these people start showing up. This truck shows up, turns around, backs into the driveway of the mansion, and is parked with the headlights pointing towards us. So that's why we're kind of down behind the trees. So we make our way further down the trail towards the bathrooms, the gift shop area. And we see another car come by. And we could tell by the engine it was like a classic car, like a late 50s, early 60s model muscle car. And the car comes down, and it just kind of stops near where we are. And so we get down again. And then the car stops, and then it takes off further down the road. Because I thought it stopped because it saw us. And so we were actually trying to get to the bathrooms gift shop area, because right there we could cross the street and actually get to the cemetery that we were trying to get to. So we're trying to get here. So then we're almost there, and I see headlights come back up from the opposite direction. Same motor, same car. Car comes up, once again just stops. And now at this point, we're just within a few yards of this car. And Brooke and I are kind of, our backs up against some big box truck that was parked in the gift shop parking lot. And we're kind of down behind that, and we're just watching. And the car just sits there, and it just idles. And then it finally backs into the entry to the cemetery, and then takes back off down the road from which the direction from which it came.
Yeah, and what they've done there is it's not a one way in, one way out. Now it is it's a big roundabout, so you can go in one side and go out the other. So I mean, they could literally be coming in one side, leaving in the other.
So we go back, and it takes us a couple of minutes to get to where the car was parked. When we got to where the car was parked, I could still smell like the exhaust from a classic car. You know how the exhaust smells different than like the car wouldn't pass the emissions test.
Oh yeah.
So I could still smell that exhaust when we crossed the road. So we get over to the cemetery. And turns out that in 2 years, perhaps we weren't the only ones to visit in the middle of the night.
Oh, right.
There's a huge combination lock on the gate to the cemetery.
No way at the in night, like they lock it every night.
Wow. Huh,
Yeah,
that's
or
new.
maybe now it's just locked, which is possible. And
So like they wouldn't let people in during the day?
I don't know. I don't know. I know it was locked when we were there. There was a combination lock on it, and you'll hear Brooke and I talk about that. And so we decide, well, we've come all this way. We can't get into the cemetery. There's an entrance right back out onto the battlefield on the opposite side of the cemetery from where we heard the gunshots come last time. So I was like, well, let's just go over onto the battlefield, and then we'll walk the battlefield a little bit. We'll stop, and we'll record one more time. And this is what we recorded.
Yeah, if we get arrested, I'm definitely keeping the recorder on. Okay, so give me a rundown what's happening. Was it 2 years ago, Brooke?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, Brooke and I visited the cemetery. We recorded, we checked out the graves. It was at night, a little earlier at night than this, but still about this time of year. And if you remember, when we started recording, we heard dogs of some sort. Coyotes, most likely.
Probably, yeah.
So we came back to the site, and it feels a little more illegal this time.
Like a lot more illegal. Like my adrenaline is pumping so much more than it was last time because I'm afraid that I'm going to get put in the back of a cop car.
We're not going to get put in the back of a cop car.
You never know.
It's true.
You never know.
But we are probably,
Is that a
I'd
helicopter?
say, like a
Yeah, they had the
couple hundred
searchlights out
yards
for
from
us.
the mansion right now. The guys in the truck and the trailer are still there. We've come up with a story that perhaps there's some sort of mass murderer. This is where they're dumping the bodies. But I got to say, they have a really nice truck to do that. And we came to the cemetery. We found that the cemetery is actually locked now.
The big padlock. Yeah, they don't want us here.
Yeah, there's a big combination padlock on it. I guess it'd be combination or padlock. Can you have a combination padlock?
Sure, why not?
And we couldn't actually get into the cemetery, so Brooke pointed out we're probably more trespassing than ever because we're on the other side of the fence, actually on the battlefield beside the cemetery.
We're if a policeman comes, we are. Well, and here comes the car now.
Okay.
Gonna squat just a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting it down so the car doesn't see us as it goes by. Oh, there's another one. Oh boy.
They don't look like cop cars.
No, they don't look like cop cars, but they certainly could call the cops. The one's definitely not a cop car.
Yeah, no. Wouldn't it be funny if someone else were trying to ghost hunt, like out here tonight, and they saw us, and they were like, "Why are those ghosts squatting?
Why are those ghosts hiding behind that tree?
Are they taking a dump under that tree?"
Those ghosts smell terrible. Okay, so the Great Carton Ghost Hunt 2017. I think we're about to put the wraps on it, Brooke.
Like, look behind us, though. Look, it's foggy. It's foggy over the battlefield right now. It's so eerie.
There's no zombies coming at us, right? Because I've got my back to the fog.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good, man. No,
Never turn your back to the fog.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, well, I think we're going to trek back to the car. I'm sorry nothing exciting happened this go around.
Yeah, well, no, I'm pretty sure that this is the most excitement that I want to have. I'm really afraid for my life right now.
But we still got to get back to the car.
Somehow.
Which, as we mentioned before, the mass murderer guy who's throwing his bodies out in front of the mansion, out of the big U-Haul, is a part between us and the car.
Yeah, so wish us luck, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you guys soon.
We'll check in if anything else happens.
Nothing else happened. We got back to our car.
So it is more scary in a different sense now. Like illegal is kind of scary.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was way busier this time than it was last time.
Yeah.
Now was that a police helicopter? You
could've
were
been.
saying that, right?
Yeah, no.
I got you.
just
Because
a
it sounded like one. You could have. We would have totally bought.
We should. As we were recording, I thought about we should really because I could hear it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we should really play it up. They're after us. There's the searchlight. Steer them on. We could have made up stuff that was.
That's
happening.
true. Yeah, that's true.
So, thank you, Brooklyn, for once again going to the Carton Plantation. That'll probably be the last time we go.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's getting too mainstream now?
Yeah, I think so. we got to find another haunted place.
I did tell y'all that when I went, I actually had to go with my job to work on some communication stuff. And I told them the story back in the day before all the stuff was built. And they said that they who worked there had multiple experiences.
Really?
Like pretty much every worker had an experience.
I can believe it.
So,
I mean, it's a creepy place.
It really is. I mean,
even when we were out there and hiding, trying not to get caught. Which what would have happened if we'd gotten caught?
If you'd gotten caught, they could have slapped you with trespassing and gave you a fine.
Is it trespassing though?
If it has if there were posted hours.
There were no posted hours.
Were there not?
No.
I think the posted hours were probably maybe right when you come in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing. If there were posted hours, they could have slapped you with a fine. I mean, at worst, they could have scared you a little bit, but that would have been about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was trying to think, like, what was I going to tell them if the police showed up? Like, what would I say? We do a podcast. Maybe there'd be some ghosts.
Yeah. I will play the audio footage for you. We've just been out here. All we've been doing is walking around recording.
Yeah.
You kids out here smoking your weed? No,
sir. Not yet.
If I search you, am I going to find some weed?
No. Just don't search my butt.
But that was fun. So I look
times.
forward to the next adventure.
I think next year or even sooner, we should all of us go to the Bell Witch Cave.
Yeah, see, you say that,
No,
and then
I'm all about
Now,
and then
I'm
we're
all about
going to
that.
go.
That's a
and then-
daylight guided tour. No cops involved. I'm down for that.
Here's the deal. It is, you realize that most of the people that I've talked to that went, first off, it's in Adams, Tennessee,
Right.
which is, roughly an hour?
Yeah,
little
hour,
over an
hour
hour
10,
from
yeah.
here.
It's literally Adam's ghost.
Yeah,
The Bell Witch.
Yeah, but it's
Exactly.
but it's one of those things that every person I've ever talked to said that when they go in the cave, it's literally you go in the cave, you look around, it's a small cave,
Really?
and then you walk back out and you go, well, that was very lackluster.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
man.
you would literally have to go at night in the dark, in my opinion, if you wanted to pull it off.
Yeah.
But I do believe that it is also on
Right.
private property.
Yeah, they have to pay to go in and guided tours and all that.
Yeah. But I mean, here's the deal. We've talked about this before. We've talked about going to Kentucky to the mental asylum that has had tons and tons of activity. Like they say, every time you go, you have activity. And we've talked about that one. I would say that you could possibly pay the people in Adams, Tennessee, to go to that one at
so?
night.
Yeah.
I think you could, as long as you promised. I mean, as long as you sign some kind of waiver that you weren't going to damage anything, I think you'd be fine. But I mean,
Yeah, that was some headlamps. That'd be pretty awesome.
yeah, how are you going to damage a cave?
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't you steal that stalactite.
Just don't poop in there.
There's some guy in the back. Ooh, it's spooky, kids. Okay, so Adam, you have a game.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
A special Halloween game.
Do you want it now? Are you ready for it?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I've been working on this for a while. I did some massive research in the past few hours, 48 or so. And I've been scouring a website of movie reviews and what people think about those. This game is called Dead and Rotten.
Okay.
Dead and Rotten.
Dead and Rotten. Do I have any music? Let's see if I can
Sure,
find
find
some.
some music there.
Very good.
So Dead and Rotten, here we go. The idea of the game is we've all used it and we're all aware of the RottenTomatoes.com website, which is kind of an aggregate or Metacritic scores of the best movies around, highs and lows, and the kind of the average score of what people think a movie is worth. 0 to 100%, of course, a higher number will be a better movie. Lower is the worst movie. We understand how Rotten Tomatoes works, correct?
Right.
So let's go through some of the like all-time Halloween classic franchises of horror movies. We're going to play a game here. If you guys can guess the best of the franchise score-wise on RottenTomatoes.com, you'll get 5 points. If you can guess the worst of that franchise, you get 5 points as well.
Oh, this is awesome. I
This
love
is
this
good.
game already.
Every 2 rounds, I'm going to give you a bonus round, which is a single solo movie that's not part of a franchise, and you must guess within 10% of that movie's score, and you get 5 points for that. Does that make sense?
Okay,
If
sure.
it is 65%,
Okay,
you get 74, you got the points.
Okay.
Ready for it?
Yeah.
Very
And we
good.
have a lot of movies here.
Can I just tell you right now, I am
that?
so happy you're good at math.
Yes.
It's all good. It's all good.
Because
It
I'm
means
not.
I don't
Keep
have
on-
to worry
I'll
about
keep
it.
on top of this. Here we
Okay.
go. So let's start off. We're going to go through most major horror movie franchises. Every single movie, I'll name them one by one. Keep in your head which one you think is the best and which one is the worst as far as scores on RottenTomatoes.com goes. Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
First off, we'll start with the Saw franchise.
Oh,
We
wait a
have-
minute. Hang on. This is so weird because, admittedly, I had no idea you were doing any of this,
Yeah.
but I do have some stuff like just lined up.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So the Saw franchise is first up. Now remember, which one do you think is the best score on Rotten Tomatoes? Which one is the worst? So keep those two in your mind.
Okay.
So we have Saw, of course. Then you have Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, and Saw 3D. And of course, Jigsaw, which at this time of the recording isn't out yet, so we can't do that. So Saw 1 through 6 plus Saw 3D. Do you guys need refreshers on those? I mean, they're all kind of these
No, I
are
got
kind of
it.
the same stories.
I got it in my head.
Yeah. So,
Okay. So we're going for best first?
both of you give me your best first. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My best, I'm going to call Saw as the best.
Okay.
I agree.
JP.
Saw. The original Saw.
You
Is
guys
the
are both
best.
correct. And it only has 48% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you serious?
That's the highest one, yeah.
48%.
So you both have 5 points right now. Now, which one do you believe is the worst between Saw 1 through 6 and Saw 3D?
I've got a theory about this.
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
to be the worst, and the reason I've got reasoning behind it.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Saw 3D is the worst reviewed.
JP is correct.
Really?
9% Saw 3D has.
See, and
Saw 4 is a 17, so it's not much better.
See, I was actually going to say Saw 3D, but I thought the novelty of the 3D is what
Right.
was going to get.
And they also made a big deal that it's the last Saw movie.
That's
right.
And
Yeah.
I
we
thought
are
that
3
would
years
make
later.
it
Right.
a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And here we are. We have Jigsaw. coming
Exactly.
out.
However, it could end up being Jigsaw because
That's true.
they did not release Jigsaw to be reviewed by critics.
Oh, really?
Really?
Interesting. That comes out what this week here, I believe.
The
Yeah.
weekend that we record this,
Yeah.
the weekend
That's-
before Halloween.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Last
fairly-
Friday.
That's
Right.
fairly telltale
Yeah,
right there. You
that
know?
really is.
Okay, go ahead.
This one can be tricky. I had to do some major research on these because I had no idea what they were about, honestly. And we're going to go with the Hellraiser franchise.
Oh
here.
yeah, got this.
So
Little
of course,
Pinhead action.
Of course, you have Hellraiser 1, then you have Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, you have Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and then you have Bloodline, Part 4, Part 5 is Inferno, Part 6 is Hellseeker, Part 7 is Deader, and that came out in 2005. Also in 2005, Part 8 comes out, Hellworld, and then you have Revelations later on, the Part 9, and soon, which isn't out yet, Hellraiser Judgment. So I'll go through those again. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Hell on Earth, Bloodline, Inferno, Hellseeker, Deader, Hellworld, Revelations. If you want to just say a number installment, that works too. But
Okay,
those are the
JP,
names of them.
You go first.
Which one is the best of the, as far as the Metacritic score on Rotten Tomatoes, which has the highest score rating of the Hellraiser franchise?
I'm letting my personal judgment.
Right. Don't let that always happen, but you
I
do
know.
what you want. Yeah.
But my personal judgment, I'm going to let affect this one because I've only seen a handful of the Hellraiser movies. So I'm going to say Hellraiser 2 is probably the best reviewed.
With Hellbound? Okay.
Yeah. And then the worst reviewed is probably going to be the Part 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part 6 now, you said there were 10.
Yes, there are 10.
Oh,
yeah.
then
Well,
I mean,
10 is coming out.
then I mean Part 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I
Part
got
9.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call 1.
Okay.
And then for some reason, I've got this weird feeling that 3 is going to be really high, and I don't know why, but I'm still going to stick with 1 as being the highest reviewed.
Okay.
And I will agree with JP that 9 is the worst.
Okay. You guys are, so the first one is the highest rated. Hellraiser 1 is 66%. So Josh has that one, correct?
Yeah.
You said number 2, JP?
Yeah, I said it
Right.
would be 2.
And you guys are both correct on the Revelations being the worst one. 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
6%.
So have you seen?
No.
That's on Netflix.
I have not.
That's the first time.
Is it that bad?
It's the first. Is his name Doug Bradley? Is that his
Doug
name?
Bradley
Yeah,
is.
that's the first one. He didn't play Pinhead, and it's
Really?
very, 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 very obvious. Looks
See,
like Rowan Atkinson. It's terrible.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's almost like when they were doing the Crow movies and they let John Bon Jovi be
Right.
the Crow. It's like, you
Right.
can't do that.
Right.
You know,
You can,
well, you can,
but no one can.
Right. Yeah.
don't expect a good movie.
So what was 10?
What's that?
What Part 10? What did he get?
That's the one. It's Hellraiser Judgment. It's not out yet. It's
Oh,
coming
it's
out
not
this
out.
year.
Oh, okay.
This year. Yeah.
Okay.
Says right now we have Josh at 15 and JP at 10 is what's happening right now.
Okay.
We are at the bonus round though.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for the bonus round? Because you did get both right the first time, right?
He got both of them right the first time. I
Yeah.
only got one right the first time.
Right. Oh yeah.
So we should be 15 to 15.
You're
are
right.
we?
I did mark that out. See, I'm good at math.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The bonus here is, like I said, it's 5 points by itself. You have to get within 10% of its Rotten Tomatoes score, and that is House of 1,000 Corpses.
Oh.
What do you think the percentage is
Rob
on Rotten
Zombie's
Tomatoes?
House of a
Right,
Thousand
yeah,
Corpses.
yeah. What do you think
I know you love this
I've
movie.
got this.
You want to go
Yeah.
first?
37%.
Okay. JP?
I'm going to say it's probably around 48% rotten.
You're sadly both wrong at 19%. Isn't that weird?
Wow.
Isn't
See,
that weird?
and
I was shocked by that
No,
one.
that is not weird because it is a terrible movie.
No, it is not. It is one of the best
It's one
horror
of my
flicks out
favorites,
there.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, it is almost on repeat at my house. Not
Yeah.
only do I love it, but Brooklyn, who went to the Carton Mansion,
Uh-huh.
I will come home at random times and she will literally just have that movie playing at any given point. I mean,
That's
it
shit,
could be
nothing
the
wrong with
middle
it.
of
Nothing wrong
summer
with
and
it.
she's going to have House of 1,000 Corpses playing.
Yeah, she cosplayed as Baby in the.
She did. She did.
Yeah, at Dragon Con.
We're not
Yeah.
going to talk about what happened the previous couple of years when I saw a girl
Well-
that was wearing assless jeans.
Well, but
That's all good.
Brooke
Yeah.
was a different version
all
of
good.
Baby.
Yeah,
a
it
more
was. It
family-friendly version.
True.
Yeah.
Let's go with one that has a lot more installments, a little more well-known, like the Friday the 13th franchise. How about that?
Oh, that's good.
I'll go through these here. Friday the 13th, Part 1. Then you have Part 2, Part 3 in 3D. Then you have Part 4, The Final Chapter. You have Part 5, A New Beginning. Part 6, Jason Lives. Part 7, The New Blood. Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Then you have Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Then Jason X. And I will count this for both. But we have Freddy vs. Jason in there as well. And I'm even counting the 2009 Friday the 13th remake. Now, out of those, All those, including Freddy vs. Jason and the new remake. Every movie with Jason as an actual character in there. Which one is the best? Which one is the worst?
Am I going first this
Sure,
time?
let's go for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and call. This is going to be one of the few that the first one is not the highest rated, and I'm going to say part 3 to be the probably the highest rated.
Okay.
And I would say the worst is going to have to be the new remake.
Okay.
I'm going to say number 1 is the highest. Though Dream Warriors.
Wait, Friday the 13th.
No, we're Friday the 13th.
Oh, Friday the 13th. I don't know why I was thinking Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. Yeah, I'd still say, the original Friday the 13th is probably the, even though it's different from the rest of the movies, more or less. And then how about Jason Goes to Hell?
As the worst?
As the worst.
JP got 5 points on that, and Josh got nothing for that one.
Okay, what happened?
The best one was Friday the 13th at 59%.
See,
still kind of low,
and
right?
that's really crazy because I would say true people, our friend Tanner is one of the biggest Friday the 13th fans, and I know that he likes he loves them all.
Right, yeah.
But even at that, Jason isn't the killer in the first
No,
one.
yeah, exactly.
Isn't that
weird?
You do not see Jason in his mask and all his glory of what we know to be Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
You don't see it in that one.
And
anyway,
not
go
until
ahead.
part 3 for the mask.
Right, and that's the reason I went with 3.
That is a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you
Isn't that crazy?
serious?
Yeah.
Wow. And is that the one with Tommy Jarvis, Corey
that was
Feldman?
starting part 4. That's the final chapter.
4, that was it.
Yeah.
Because, man, that's pretty wicked. His mask gets cut off, and
Yeah.
you see the actual face of Jason.
Right. But the worst was part 8. Oddly enough, Jason Takes Manhattan.
See,
Isn't that weird?
and that was the very first one that
8%
Kane
on Rotten
Hodder
Tomatoes.
played. If I'm not mistaken,
Right,
that was the very first one that Kane Hodder played Jason.
Which I don't mind. Everyone hates on Jason Takes Manhattan. I kind of like it.
Because he doesn't do anything in it.
Well,
He doesn't do anything.
he takes a sauna stone and puts it through somebody.
I mean, and haven't we discussed before? It was because, or maybe it was last year when we had Mike on, that we were talking about they only had a limited amount of time to shoot
In Manhattan.
in
Yeah, it was
Manhattan.
very, very expensive.
Yeah. So it was just basically
Times
just to
Square
get him
there,
to
yeah.
walk around.
Kicking boom boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question: did they actually physically film in Manhattan?
Yeah,
I
they
guess
blocked off
had
some
to.
street. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they blocked off streets to do
That's
that.
all really. It's like the last 20 minutes of the movie. He's
Yeah.
there. The rest
Oh,
of it's
yeah.
on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
It shouldn't be Jason Takes Manhattan.
He visits for a short time in Manhattan.
It should be Jason Saunders through Manhattan.
Next franchise. This was a shorter one, so hang with me. This is the Scream franchise.
Ooh, like this.
We have Scream 1, of course, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4. Pretty simple. For those, which one's the best, which one's the worst? JP, go first this time. This one kind of shocked me. I'm not going to give anything away by saying what I thought.
Highest on Rotten Tomatoes is going to be Scream 4,
Okay.
the latest incarnation. And then the lowest is going to be probably 3.
Okay, Josh.
Okay, I'm calling 2 the highest,
Uh-huh.
and I'm calling 3 the lowest.
Josh got 10 on that. JP got 5 only. So you guys are tied at 25. Now, the highest is Scream 2 at 81%.
And the only reason I think is because, that first one was groundbreaking.
Right.
But I remember when 2 came out, it was a
I liked it, but I was
showstopper.
shocked. I thought just doing this, I would have thought Scream 1 would blow it away. I would have thought.
Yeah.
But Scream 3 was the worst at 36%. So we have another bonus round. Ready for it?
Okay.
We're about the halfway point here. You guys having fun so far?
Uh-huh.
You guys having fun? Everyone having
Yes,
fun?
sir. Yeah, Daddy.
Bonus as we go within the 10% range, or within 10 numbers of the percent range here. The movie this round is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, wow.
What is the percentage
Wow.
on Rotten Tomatoes they give it?
6.
You think 6?
You're saying 6. I'll go 14.
You guys are both wrong. 71% on
What?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Certified fresh?
Yeah,
The-
71%. Yeah.
Kyoto brothers, or how do you say it?
Yeah, I've heard Chi and Chi and Ki, but yeah.
And not to rehash, let's bring up some real horror.
Yeah.
You know they were at Dragon Con
I
this
know,
year. I'm
that's
just
real-
going to go ahead and throw
that's-
that
I
out there.
know,
Real
it is
horror.
some real horror.
Yeah.
Okay, we're halfway through the game.
We are, yeah. We're
All right,
halfway.
we're going to take a break. We're going to
Okay.
come back. We're going to finish. What are we calling this?
Dead and Rotten.
Dead and Rotten.
Yeah, Dead and Rotten.
Dead and Rotten. And then we also have Adam's Ghost.
We do. A Halloween-packed episode right here.
And then the Halloween madness is just going to continue. We'll do all of that next.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell.
I'm gonna do it tonight.
Are you ready for Middle Tennessee's largest video game expo? The Grand Ole Game Room Expo is taking place November 10th through the 12th at the Franklin Marriott Cool Springs. Join us for a weekend packed with 200 arcade and pinball machines, over 60 game consoles spanning the Atari 2600 to the Nintendo Switch, tournaments featuring Super Smash Bros. And Injustice 2, tabletop gaming, and much more. Get your tickets online at grandolexpo.com or at the door. Don't miss this annual event.
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call me Drinkenstein. And the tavern down the street is the laboratory where I make the transformation all the time.
This one turns my mic on. It's not Halloween without Drinkenstein.
Exactly, yeah.
Dragonstein.
Ooh.
What? Drinking Dragonstein. Well, this is our Halloween Super Show Spectacular.
It's a fun time so far.
It's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah.
And Adam is playing a brand new game.
Yeah, Dead and Rotten. We're halfway through with the game right now, Dead and Rotten.
If you're just joining us.
Yeah.
Which is almost impossible in a podcast.
It's pretty
but
impossible.
I'm just trained to reset after a commercial break.
Yeah,
so
just a refresh here in case you are joining us, like you said.
you somehow downloaded this episode and skipped right to the middle of it.
We're tied at 25 points apiece. Each one of these correct answers gets 5 points. So it's anybody's game, literally. It's like we just started.
It's all up in the air.
And last time we did the bonus round of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, both of you way undershot, and it didn't give its due respect to 71%.
I think we did.
Here's one, though. A classic horror franchise we all know and love, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, good one.
So we have A Nightmare on Elm Street 1. We have Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Part 3, Dream Warriors. Part 4, The Dream Master. Part 5, The Dream Child. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. We're counting Freddy vs. Jason, and we're even including the Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 remake as well.
See, and this isn't fair because I knew prior to you counting all those in there, I knew exactly which ones were correct.
Yeah.
And now I do not.
Every single movie with this character is going to be in there. As you'll see later on with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's impossible to keep in the storyline.
Yeah. So is it me first or you?
I can't remember.
I think I'm first this
Go for
time.
it. Go for it, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going Nightmare on Elm Street #1.
Okay.
As top.
Okay.
And now that you've thrown those others in there, I know 2 is extremely low, and there's reasons behind that. I'm going to go ahead and call. You said Jason versus Freddy's in there,
yeah,
as well as New Nightmare.
Yeah, New Nightmare.
The remake.
Anything with Freddy Krueger in there is on this list.
Jackie Earl Haley is on this list.
Good gracious! There's no way I can pick this correctly. I'm going to go ahead and call Freddy versus Jason as the worst.
Okay.
Man, I so want to say Dream Warriors as the highest.
Yeah,
because it's my favorite. But I'm going to go with the first one.
Okay.
#1 is the highest on Rotten Tomatoes, and the lowest is going to be Freddy's Dead.
JP gets 10 points.
Are you serious?
Yes, he
You
does.
nailed them?
He nailed them.
And see, what's crazy about that is I'm allowing my personal preference to get in the way.
Yeah.
Because, Freddy's Dead is probably one of my favorites.
I know,
I
same here.
I love it.
I like it a
well,
lot,
I've
but
told
it's-
y'all
yeah,
the story.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I've told y'all the story, right?
We
went to the theater and it was back.
Oh,
I've told y'all about
and the
this.
actor was there.
The
with
actor,
their,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had the whole setup with
Yeah.
the film laid out there. The actor walks down front, tells us we're all gonna die before we watch the movie. I mean, I guess they created such a memory for me that I mean, what's his name? Alice Cooper's the dad in it.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
there's Tom Arnold's in it.
Yeah.
As a salesman.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Clearly, I see why
whatever.
this would be rated higher than it
Should be a
is.
fantastic. And Roseanne was in it.
Oh, yeah, it's just getting better.
But as far as I see here, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1 has...
What's the percentage?
94%. I
Yeah.
believe out
Wow.
of every movie we'll talk about tonight, I think that's the highest one.
It's
And
a
you-
near perfect horror movie.
You
it really
watch
is.
Johnny Depp. Johnny
Yeah,
Depp
right.
bumped that
Yeah.
at least 10% by
Yeah.
himself.
Right.
I'm telling you.
New Nightmare was 78%. I was impressed that was so high.
Really?
Yeah.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
Yeah, 90 or 78%. Number 2 drops down to 40, and then Dream Warriors is 74. So it's pretty high. up there.
What's Jason versus Freddy, just out of
it
curiosity?
was 41%.
Yeah,
so
it's
right
Okay,
there.
so I was getting lower.
Yeah.
And you said the lowest, though, being
was
Freddy's Dead.
Yeah, 20%.
20.
Yeah.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Wow, that hurts my feelings.
Yeah. How about the Halloween?
What was the Jackie Earl Haley?
Oh, yeah.
That was 22. It was close.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's pretty
so
bad.
they were
Yeah.
right there with
Yeah.
each other.
That was
Right.
almost my guess.
Wow,
Yeah.
1% difference.
Yeah, or 2, yeah.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is Halloween time. How about the Halloween franchise?
Oh, yeah, we should.
I think
for
I have a
sure.
music cue for you, and we may hear the
Please,
remix again.
remix,
oh, wait a minute.
remix.
Actually, instead, we'll play this.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Of course, that's
Dude,
Dr. Loomis.
I'm
from
about
Halloween.
to tear up. Like that makes me so happy. Does it not? You
Yeah.
like one of the quintessentials of all time.
Without
Yeah,
doubt.
doesn't get better than Loomis.
No.
I think you guys will get mad at me for this list here, but like I say, every movie that stars this character, so hang with me. Halloween, 1978.
Oh, so there's gonna be some more Rob Zombie magic in
I mean,
this
and
one.
you can't count the Silver Shamrock.
All right,
you
I'm
can't count
I'm not
that.
going. I have the score if you guys want to know, but I don't count that because it's not a Michael Myers
It's not
movie.
a Michael
Yeah.
Myers movie. Are you calling just Michael Myers movies or just Halloween?
Just Michael Myers.
Okay.
So we're keeping that one out. So yeah, Halloween 1978, part 2 after that. We're going to skip 3 and go right to 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Part 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Part 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Then we have Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection, and then Halloween, the Rob Zombie 2007 remake, and Halloween 2 or H2, the 09 sequel to that remake.
So we're actually counting those.
Yeah, I mean, it's Michael Myers
Okay.
movies.
Yeah.
So all movies minus Part 3, Season of the Witch, plus the H2O Resurrection and the 2 remakes, or sequel to the remake.
Okay, question before you answer real quick. What did you think Michael McDowell being Loomis? You were good with that?
I was down for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Plus,
Malcolm McDowell. Did I say the right thing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I enjoyed him as Loomis.
Okay.
I also enjoyed the talk show that he was on,
Right,
where
yeah.
Weird Al was one of the guests.
Ah.
And the talk show was hosted by Chris Hardwick.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I forgot
That was
about
Hardwick?
Yeah.
And they make a Mike Myers joke.
I forgot about that.
Because Weird Al's like, Michael Myers? Austin Powers?
Yeah,
or the
that-
guy from Saturday Night Live? Or
Yeah,
whatever
that's
it was.
funny.
Yeah. I'm going to say number 1 will always be the highest rated. It may be one of the, if you said Nightmare on Elm Street 1, this has got to be, I'm going to say it's probably, I know that we're not doing this round, but it's got to be around the 85% mark for the original Halloween. And then probably the second Rob Zombie is going to be the lowest. That's my guess.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's some real shitty movies in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to call, 1 for sure, and I'm going to call 6, the Curse of Michael Myers. I'm going to call that as the worst.
Josh has got 10 points.
Whoa.
So you guys are tied up again, 40 to 40.
I'm telling you, there's something about that. And
When you mix
I'm,
Paul Rudd and Michael Myers, it's not even a
I'm
combo.
telling you, you get that. And if I'm not mistaken, and I may be completely wrong about this, he'll tell me, but I think Dudley loves or likes Part 6.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, and I remember, I think
He's a Rocky
we've
5
had,
fan. It makes sense.
It's true.
But anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
And
90,
he'll tell me.
93%.
He'll tell me if I got that wrong. But I think he said he liked 6. Anyway.
The first Halloween is 93%.
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomatoes, and Part 6 is 6%.
Yeah.
I think of these franchises, that's the biggest drop. That's
Now,
a big
isn't
drop.
6 the one where the druids bring him back or
That's
something?
the curse of the thorn. That's when the curse.
Yes. Isn't that when they fight the hand and then there's the guy with the iron fist?
Isn't it? Oh,
and-
yeah, Defenders, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so what about the second Rob Zombie?
19%.
Oh,
That's not
okay.
even close. Like Part
Real
5
close.
is a 14%. Part Resurrection's a 12%. They drop drastically around
Yeah.
there.
They get really bad.
Yeah, but Part 2 is a 19%, and Season of the Witch had 37%. The second highest from this Halloween Part 1 is 93%. The second highest is Part 3 at 37%.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, that's how
37 is
everything else is 37 below.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a renaissance going on for Halloween Part 3.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's been, kind of shoved under the carpet as being terrible for all these years, and now it's starting to finally kind of get a
Right.
fan base because it is so different and kind of makes the Halloween movies almost an anthology by it being a different story.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, if you really want to go completist on the Halloween and the Michael Myers story, I truly believe, because of the history behind it, I truly believe that Halloween is a sequel to Black Christmas.
Yeah.
I truly believe that
someone
now,
said that.
because I mean,
Yep.
if you look up that history, that he was friends with the director, and he asked him, if you were going to make a sequel, what would you do? And he kept pushing him to make the sequel, and he's like, well, if you're not going to make a sequel, I will. And he makes it, and it's like, if you watch Black Christmas and then you go straight into that, it fits hand in hand.
Yeah. And I think you can also draw a parallel that it's a spiritual sequel to It's a Wonderful Life.
You think so?
For sure.
Yeah. It is bonus round time,
Oh,
there we go.
We need like music cues for all these.
You're both tied. I'm trying to hurry you. I know it's going a long time.
No, you're fine.
You're good,
You're both tied at 40, by the way. I like this.
Yes.
Okay.
We're on it.
Bonus round from 1960, Psycho.
Oh, wow. Percentage-wise?
Yeah, percentage-wise.
Oh, wow.
Within 10% of Psycho. What do you have?
Okay.
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
97.
Okay, I'm going to give it 93.
You're both correct, but JP is right on at 97%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, at least we both got it, right?
Yeah,
that's
you're both
true.
right. 45 and 45.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, wow.
So I was wrong. That is the highest rated movie in this list right here.
Really?
I thought the first Nightmare was, but that 97, that's like some top of the line movie making right there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, just movies in general, Psycho is usually in the top 15 to 20 of any genre.
Next franchise, personal favorite of mine, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. Here we go.
Love it.
Like I said, every single thing with Leatherface in there. So here we go. Ready for it? We have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course, the original. TCM 2 with some chop top action. We have Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Then we have TCM, The Next Generation. We have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Then we have the prequel to that, The Beginning. Then we have from 2013, Texas Chainsaw, sometimes called Chainsaw 3D. Then we have the newest one that just came out and has reviews and scores already called Leatherface by itself. So, the original, Part 2, Part 3, the first remake, The Next Generation. Then we have the actual 2003 remake, the prequel to that remake, and the Chainsaw 3D, and the newest one where he's a child. Which one's the best? Which one's the worst rated on Rotten Tomatoes?
This is so difficult, man.
It really is.
I mean, I know the one that is absolutely is almost unwatchable.
It's so funny. I want to talk to you guys about it, but I can't yet.
I know. There's one that's almost unwatchable to me, and there's one that everyone hates, and it's got a super low score, and for some reason I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Anyway, is it me or you?
I think you go first.
Okay, so I'm going to call Texas Chainsaw as being number one.
Okay.
And
like the original or the remake?
The original.
Okay.
The original. And I'm going to say the absolute lowest, and I'm just going off of because it is literally, to me, unwatchable, is Part 3. I cannot watch Part 3. Yeah. I'm not going to talk anymore because if I do, I will give away what probably is the lowest. Go ahead.
I'm going to say 3 is the highest.
Oh.
Really?
Yep.
Come on now.
And McConaughey is the lowest.
Let's see. So you got 0 points, JP. Josh got 5 points.
Okay, now here's the deal. Everybody hates on Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. There, for some odd reason, I really like that.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. There's something weird about it when that freak shows up at the door that and his body's mutilated and he has all these like nipple rings and crazy crap. Like it freaks me out. Like I think there's some really good parts to that one. And McConaughey is in rare form. I don't care what anybody says. He is a freak and he is awesome as being that. You know, Zellweger, I could take or leave her being in there, but McConaughey in that, his crazy factor is like at a 100. What's the lowest?
The lowest is TCM The Beginning, which is the prequel to the remake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have thought that because me and Adam actually went to the theater to see the 3D.
Right, yeah.
And I knew that was way low.
Yeah, that's a 19%. The Beginning is 12%. So they're pretty close.
What's Leatherface got?
32% so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, isn't that story like he's
a boy, like a
kids?
small
as a
child,
kid,
like a child,
as a kid, and how he was raised to turn him into that.
Yeah.
And
Cannibal babies.
Oddly enough, DirecTV has it right now. You can.
I heard about that.
It's in the
you can
theater,
watch it,
but you can
but-
also watch
weird.
it.
I've seen the
So weird.
seen the ads for it.
So right now we're at Josh at 50, JP at 45. There's a few. We have we only have 2 rounds left and a bonus round between those.
Oh,
Okay.
man, I got to go on my game.
Yeah, we
Here
got this.
Here we go.
The Child's Play franchise.
Oh,
Are you ready
yeah.
for it? We have the original Child's Play, then Part 2, then Part 3. Then we go to Bride of Chucky. We go to Seed of Chucky. We go to The Curse of Chucky, and then The Cult of Chucky.
Okay, it's
Part
you.
1, 2, 3. Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky.
1 is going to be the highest.
Okay.
Seed of Chucky is going to be the lowest.
Okay.
Okay, 1's definitely the highest, and I have to say Seed of Chucky. I cannot look at that little freaky thing that is what they're calling a kid,
Yeah.
and not, and I can't call that good.
What if I don't want to kill?
I would agree with you guys, but those are both you get 0 points. You're both wrong.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
The Curse of Chucky has 82%. The highest on Rotten Tomatoes is the best score, and the worst is Part 3 with 23%.
See, and that's weird.
Part
Wait
one-
a minute.
I know.
What is 1 sitting at?
69%.
So you're telling me that the Child's Play entire franchise predominantly is higher than the Halloween franchise?
You're right. Yeah, because
I mean, there's only one of them.
You're right. Let me give you the full score: 69%, 40%, 23, 46, 32, 82, 81. You're right. Like,
so are you kidding me? A possessed? I mean, don't get me wrong.
No, not just this, but the whole original series. The Curse was the what, from 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years
and
ago.
you were telling me that the Curse is actually good.
I liked it a lot. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
But man, you can't look at that little seed of Chucky and tell me
that's terrible.
that is a valid horror.
That's one of the worst movies on this list, I think. Honestly,
it really is.
Like, that's horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, the
it's
fact
bad.
that two dolls could procreate and create another little doll that's going to run around killing, no.
So, see,
I'm
Chucky's score almost doubles House of 1,000 Corpses. How do you feel about that?
So stupid. So stupid.
I can see that.
Okay, so right now we're at Josh at 50, JP at 45. So this is the last bonus round. Then we have the final round to finish it all.
Okay, what if we tie?
I have a lightning round for you, like a one solo movie.
Oh, okay.
The bonus round, the last bonus round, apparently, the movie from a few short years ago, The Conjuring.
Ooh, got this one.
What does The Conjuring have on there, you think?
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
I feel like I go first on all of these. I'm going to say The Conjuring is sitting at 82% fresh.
See, I was going to say 78.
You're both correct. Both get 5 points. It's
Okay.
86%.
Yeah. I was gonna. I mean, that's it. It was a fantastic film.
Right.
The whole Annabelle stuff afterwards. It got it. You know, I thought it was. It's still solid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Final round. Let's see. With Josh in the lead, 55 to JP's 50. We're going to go with George A. Romero's Dead franchise. These are the ones just where
you're going to completely destroy me on this one.
He just directed these. No, there's tons of movies he's done, tons of zombie movies, even Return of the Living Dead. They took his franchise, but only the ones he's worked on.
Okay.
So Land of the Dead is in this.
It is in there, yes.
And Diary of the Dead.
Exactly. So we have 1968's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, 10 years later, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and then Survival of the Dead. Which one is best? Which one is worst?
Is it me going first? Okay, the original is number one, and this may separate us. This may be it. I'm going to call Diary as the worst. So
I'm going to say
55 to 50.
I'm going to go for broke and say Dawn of the Dead is the highest, but it's very close to the original. But I'm going to say Dawn is probably the highest, and Land of the Dead is the lowest.
Josh got 5 points. JP got 0.
Oh, wow. So what was it?
The highest was at 96%, the original Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
The worst was at 29%, Survival of the Dead in 2010.
Oh, that was the most recent.
Yeah, it was his last
and
one.
We should have.
Yeah.
You know,
but you're right. You were totally right though, because Dawn of the Dead was 93%, right below. Right below.
Really?
Yeah, it's right below.
Is that
that's
really?
That's my personal. I like it. Of
So
that list, that's my favorite.
It's
you
the best.
prefer?
Yeah,
it's the best.
I like that one.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
And it was like what?
Color
10
versus black and white.
Almost 10 years later,
Yeah,
right?
it was 78.
Yeah.
10 years later.
And I mean, it was color versus black and white, right? I mean, original was black and white, right?
Yeah, that, and also it's a more well-rounded story.
When Tom Savini gets involved, the gore is just top notch. It's pretty good. Yeah,
I think
close
that's
game,
probably
guys.
the quintessential early zombie movie.
I would say so.
And
Yeah.
by the way, I have heard, and I think Tanner's the one who told me, that evidently Savini got word that nobody wanted to see him at any of those things, and he's supposedly like changed his whole tune.
Really?
Yeah, from what I understand,
Really?
like now he's actually fairly personable to walk up to at any of the shows.
Wow.
I would assume as long as
That's pretty
you're
awesome.
paying
Yeah.
to meet him. But man, it's tough because I mean we all know very well when you meet somebody who you've looked up to and that you've respected their work or their catalog of work, and then you go up to them and you meet them and you realize they're a dick.
Yeah.
It sucks. You know what I mean? It's almost better to not meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
That's what happened when I met Andy Griffith.
Matlock.
I'm joking. I'm kidding.
But yeah, that was the game. 60 with Josh's points, and GP had 50. Kind of fun, right?
Hey,
Boom,
but
boom.
I'm going to go ahead and say
Yeah.
the good thing about it is everybody at this table is our horror fans.
That's true, yeah.
And we did pretty daggum good.
I feel like I did
Yeah,
like an
and-
essay. You know, like every single one of those movie scores, I'd look up and see what they're about.
Yeah.
Only
like a
one person
research.
at this table actually guessed a percentage on the nose.
That's true.
Yes,
And
that's
got
true.
got no bonus points for that.
If we play the game again, I'll add 10 points bonus point for
Okay.
those.
Okay, question real quick, and I meant to throw this out. Can we do while we're on the subject of movies, an obscure horror movie that you like that you think people may not know about?
Ooh.
An obscure horror movie that I like. Well, I know what I would say like years ago, but now it's people know the one I would have said.
That's what's tough about the internet age. I mean,
Yeah.
10 years ago I had so many. Now it's like a lot of people know about those now.
Right.
I mean, do you have one?
I'm trying to think of one that's actually obscure now.
I've got one
Yeah.
that's fairly obscure that I think people would like, but man, you can't be faint of heart if you're going to watch it. I call it a horror film. Have you ever seen Hobo with a Shotgun?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
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 Have you actually seen it, Patrick?
Yeah.
JP? It's one of those things where
Rutger Hauer. Yeah.
it's not well known, but it's got such a well known actor in it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, please watch. And now here's the deal: do not watch it around any kids. Do not. I mean, it's almost like Tarantino meets
Trauma.
Yeah, like Trauma. Seriously, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
that's what it
it's
feels like.
Tarantino meets Trauma. I mean,
Yeah.
it's completely what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's pretty. It's got that RoboCop feel to it, kind of like just gritty, gross, nasty.
oh, it's
yeah.
so gross.
Yeah. See, years ago I would have said like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Right, yeah.
Everybody knows that one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Town the Dreaded Sundown. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that one
I mean,
now.
10 years ago, no one except for like our small group knew Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and now it's
Yeah.
like a big thing.
Yeah.
It is.
It's so weird.
So
Redneck Zombies, does that count? People know that now, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that one may still be kind of
Is that
a
one still kind of culty?
yeah
Yeah.
class of Nukem High.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, and was there one that scared y'all?
Chud.
Yeah, that.
Chud, you're a scary movie.
Yeah.
But now do you watch it? And
oh,
you're
and
like,
it's laughable. Cannibalistic human underground dwellers.
Yeah.
Chud.
You got one? Do you
Clown
have?
House for sure. You
Really?
ever seen Clown House before?
I don't even know what that is.
You've heard of Victor Salva, the guy who directed the Jeepers Creepers franchise.
Oh yeah.
He's
Oh yeah, we're well aware of what he's been up to lately.
Exactly, and what that came from was from that movie Clown House, where these guys, there's a traveling circus in town. These killers break out of prison, and they kill the clowns in the actual circus, take all their makeup, take their clown suits, and then break into a house of 2 or 3 small little boys, and just kind of terrorize them all night. It's all totally pitch dark and just like slowly, creeping around the corner, like clown faces. It's terrifying.
Would I
Clown
like
House.
it?
Maybe it's interesting. When you know the story now, do you know what he's talking about? Like what
No.
Victor Salva was in trouble for? So he, on the set of that movie, he kind of improperly touched a lot of those boys. Yeah. And he, I believe, served some jail time for it. He's on some lists now. So it's...
But you say it's laughable if you watch it now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so, yeah. But
Not the story. Not that
Not
story.
the story,
right,
but
yeah, yeah.
but the movie.
Right, yeah. I mean, as a kid, it terrified me because like these creepy killer clowns. But now it's kind of just cheesy and overdone. But you can watch clips on YouTube. Just look up Clown House, Victor Salva.
Yeah, mine's Children of the Corn.
Ah.
I mean, when I was young,
Yeah.
that was the most terrifying movie.
that.
Like the
ever
original or
made.
the remake?
No, the original.
Was there a remake? I didn't know there was one. Really?
Yeah. Christy Alley and Christopher Reeve.
Really?
What?
Or in the remake.
I'd never heard of that.
No, Village of the Dam. Sorry, that's Village of the
that's
Dam.
what I was gonna say.
Not Children of the Corn, Village of the Dam.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Wow.
yeah,
I get those
Wow.
two confused.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
like music and everything. Like I couldn't listen to that music forever. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sorry about
It
that.
was Chris Reeve's last movie.
Really?
Uh-huh. Oh, wait. I've changed mine.
Uh-oh.
What you got?
Mars Needs Moms.
What?
Okay.
What is that?
Mars Needs
I
Moms.
don't know that one.
Fried green tomatoes.
Wow. That's a long
Those
episode. That's a
are-
long
that's a
Halloween
horror.
episode, right?
What's the scariest song you've ever heard?
Oh. Besides the ones we played recently? Like
Uh-huh.
Scary songs? I don't know.
Scariest song?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This one really puts me in a bad place every time I hear it.
Okay.
Who doesn't love it?
Okay, so I have an idea.
What's your idea?
We've done a full show.
Right.
We haven't done The Last Adam's Ghost.
Right.
I'm going to pull the old... Man, I'm getting so much hate mail about this.
What's that?
Pull the old bait and switch.
Yeah.
We're going to put The Last Adam's Ghost on Patreon.
There we go.
Very
We can do
smart.
that.
So when you finish this one,
Uh-huh.
go over and become a patron at patreon.com/Pod
Hey,
Casserole.
$1 a month.
Come on.
Well, to hear the exclusive content,
Oh, yeah, that's
it's
right,
a little
that's
more.
right.
But
Yeah.
it's less than 6.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up, and then we'll do the Adam's Ghost, and we'll put Adam's Ghost, the last one of 2017, on Patreon.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Patreon.com/podcast.
Because that game did kind of take a long bit of the show.
But it was awesome.
It was fun, yeah.
Hey, I wish our show could just be that, honestly.
And thank y'all for breaking me back in to
Yeah,
where
it
I
feels
needed
right.
to be.
Yeah.
You're going to
guys.
stick around for the next
Yeah,
episode, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Come back next week.
Yeah.
The show again.
We'll keep the seat warm for you.
Yeah, there we go.
You know the code to get in. Just come on in.
I
We'll be
will.
here recording. Check us out online at adamandjp.com.
Facebook.com/AdamandJP. And like you said, Patreon.com/Pod Casserole. That's where you find that Adam's Ghost now,
Mm-hmm.
It's exclusive. It's behind a paywall. It's DLC now.
It is downloadable
Pay
content.
to play, yeah. Microtransactions left and right.
Anything else?
That's about it.
Do you need Bitcoin to get that?
Yeah.
It won't hurt. Well, happy Halloween.
Yes, enjoy it.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
And Josh. And eat your Halloween candy.
This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at ESONetwork.com.